Thank you for joining me here this evening. The time is currently 5:37 p.m. Central, 6:37 p.m. Eastern, and you have a live look at a mesoscale convective system currently sweeping through Wisconsin, bringing damaging winds, large hail, and possible tornadoes. We did just get another severe thunderstorm warning at the time of us going live now, and that is for Palm Beach County, Florida, because yes, in the same day, we are talking about the threat for severe weather in Florida and Wisconsin. Crazy, right? We've also got another system of strong to severe storms impacting parts of Colorado right now. We've got a severe thunderstorm currently riding Interstate 70 near Hugo, and then also we've once again got those storms kind of scattered all across the southeast rather than just isolated down to Florida. We've got a pretty massive line of storms out here impacting parts of Alabama, Georgia. We did just get another new severe thunderstorm warning. That's for Taylor County, Wisconsin. That is for ping pong bowl-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. So if you're including that severe thunderstorm warning, make sure to move indoors and away from windows immediately. That's heading for the areas like Stetsonville, Medford, Little Black, and Goodrich. Okay, so again, it's a pretty dangerous storm right now. Definitely want to get indoors and away from windows once again. Probably the most dangerous we have in the entire country right now, in fact. Okay, so again, the main threats for today are going to be limited down to damaging winds and large hail, but an isolated tornado or two cannot be ruled out. If we turn on the tornado probabilities for today, we see that if you are in either of those dark green shades, the one down here in the southeast or the one up here in the Midwest, you have a 2% chance to see a tornado in your area, okay? So if you are in either of those areas, make sure to have a tornado action plan in place today. Again, the threat is low, but it's not, impossible that we get one or two spin-up tornadoes, okay? So you got to look out for that. I do not believe we've had any tornado warnings today. No, we have not. I will say yesterday was a pretty massive day. We had a pretty unexpected tornado outbreak yesterday, actually. That was pretty intense, all right? I'm not thinking we're going to see anything like that today, but I will say, once again, damaging winds and large hail are very high-end threats here for this line of storms currently moving through Wisconsin. We have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for them. We just got another severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be for, let's see here, Broward and, no, that is not the one. It is Broward and Palm Beach counties in Florida. It's a new severe thunderstorm warning for 1-inch in diameter hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's for areas like Deerfield Beach, Boca Raton, Pampano Beach, and then also Coral Springs. So if you're in that area, again, make sure you are getting indoors immediately, as that is now a severe thunderstorm warning for you guys, okay? So we're going to continue to cover this line of storms up here in Wisconsin, these storms down here in Florida, and also our storms out here in Colorado, and even our storms sweeping through Alabama and Georgia right now, okay? So we did have portions of southeast Alabama actually get hit pretty hard by some damaging winds this morning. All right, we got several reports of trees and power lines down here from southeast Alabama and parts of the far western Florida panhandle there. Okay, so, damaging winds are associated with most of those storms out there again today, and then also large hail once again. So let's try to find one of these cyclone ports out here in Georgia that's facing off to the west. This one in Atlanta, our systems Atlanta, is facing off to the southwest. We'll bring that up in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. We did just get a new special weather statement for that line, so it's coming in. We'll also go ahead and bring up another one here if it's facing off to the west. Yep, this is looking northwest. This is from Canton. And then this one is facing south. We'll just stick to these two right now, I think. So if anybody doesn't have any questions about the location, feel free to leave those down below. Again, we are watching currently a severe weather outbreak impacting portions of the United States. Areas like the Midwest and the Southeast in particular are getting hit extremely hard from this event. And then again, we also have that little event out there in the Western Plains. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning now. That is going to be for Lincoln, Oneida, and Langlade counties, Wisconsin. That's for ping pong bowl-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds towards Elko. So if you're in Elko, make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows immediately. Same thing for Harrison and Tomahawk. The hail threat with this storm is increasing. Again, the main threat today is actually going to be hail. We did have a report of a lime-sized hailstone. This is from the UP of Michigan, because yes, we are talking about Michigan in terms of severe weather. Pretty rare, even rarer to have it be the UP that we're talking about, but that is the situation today. Once again, we're really just looking at a mesoscale convective system impacting parts of central and northern Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan. That's causing most of the problems today. But again, we do have some smaller events kind of scattered around the country. I will continue to watch this storm here in Colorado, but I will say it's not looking super impressive to me right now. But again, 60 mile per hour damaging wind gusts are possible with that storm near Ariba, so make sure that you are getting indoors immediately. And then also these storms in southeast Florida actually look relatively intense, not only for a severe weather threat, but also for a flash flooding threat. They are producing some torrential rainfall out there. And also, if we look at the vertically integrated liquid, we can obviously see a huge hail signature here. This is maxed out on the hail signature. This is as high as it gets. It's maxing out the scale, guys. So, again, very large hail there, potentially up to ping pong, maybe even golf ball sized, potentially. And then, again, our storm closer to the Pampano Beach area is also one you got to look out for. It's rotating a little bit, but not enough to produce a tornado of any sorts. If we take a look at the storm total precipitation, again, the reason I was saying I was worried about this flash flooding potential out here is because we do have some spots in southeast Florida that will have that potential to get 2 to 2.5 inches of rainfall here. Again, across parts of southeastern Florida. Actually across pretty much the entirety of eastern Florida, and then also parts of central Florida up here. We're seeing some stronger storms, but nothing in terms of a severe threat, really. But I will say, once again, 2.5 to 3 inches of rain may fall in a couple of localized locations, okay? So we did just get a new special weather statement for a storm in Colorado. It's looking like they're going to drop the severe thunderstorm warning, and again, just leave it as a special weather statement for 50 to 55 mile per hour winds and penny-sized hail. That might as well be a severe thunderstorm, and it does have the intensification possible tag on it. So again, if you're in Flagler, just make sure that you are getting indoors there along Interstate 70 in Colorado, once again. So that's going to continue off to the east there, that little storm. Not even really a little storm. It's a pretty decent size one. Again, most of our big hailers are up here in Wisconsin, but unfortunately, Wisconsin, I mean, they don't have the best radar coverage because they don't get severe weather that often, so they don't need great radar coverage. But today it would be nice if we could use something other than just the Green Bay radar, but unfortunately we cannot. But as these storms move closer to the east, the radar coverage will get a little bit better. We could use the La Crosse one, but it's just going to get worse and worse over time if we look at that. So we'll just look at the Green Bay one here. Again, this line of storms is heading east. It's kind of at its peak right now, you guys. So we'll watch it. Again, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings across parts of Wisconsin, Michigan, Colorado, Florida. We are really talking about the entire country today under the threat for severe weather, pretty much. I mean, not the entire country, literally, but I will say quite a few people, all right? We've got over 50 million people today, at least under a marginal risk of severe weather. Again, across states like Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. I mean, it's just all over the place today, you guys. And again, all those states that I just listed are going to have a threat for, at least the potential for, severe thunderstorms today. I will say where it is pretty calm, though, out here in the western United States, right? We don't have any sort of problems with snow, even in the higher elevations. We don't have any storms, really. The snow is probably going to end soon, even for all those people up in the tippity tops of the mountains. So if you guys are looking forward to the snow stop, and I know most of you probably are, there you go. We're not expecting much more snow this year, obviously, as we enter into the spring and even the summertime. We're getting pretty close to. I'm out for summer. I'm on summer break, so it's like summer to me, pretty much, even though it's still technically spring for a little bit. Okay, so we're going to continue to watch these severe storms capable of producing ping-pong bowl-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds up here in Wisconsin for the most part, but again, we'll interchangeably go back and forth between those, the storms down here in Florida, and then also our storm out here in Colorado, and then other strong ones across the area as well. Hello, Mr. Storm. How's it going? Good to see you here. It's been a minute since we've chatted. If we take a look at the vertically integrated liquid with this storm up here in Ohio, actually, we can see a pretty decent signature there east of Hayesville. The storm is currently warned for nickel-sized hail, so, I mean, you know, got to watch out for that one there. Again, east of Hayesville right now is where you're going to find some of the larger hailstones. So if you go out there, once it's safe to do so, I mean, you'll probably see some decent-sized little chunks of ice in your yard if you're east of Hayesville, Ohio, once again. Um, Ohio does not have a risk for severe thunderstorms today, but again, an isolated strong storm like this one near Mansfield, like we have right now, cannot be ruled out. So kind of just to go back to our main event up here in Wisconsin, again, we are talking about the threat for severe thunderstorms capable of producing ping-pong ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. Both, severe limit threats there, and then also an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out, but overall the threat is very low for tornadoes at this point. I'd honestly be pretty surprised if we got one. And then again, we've also got this cluster of storms down in southeast Florida, where a few of them are severe thunderstorm warned, like the one near Pompano Beach. Near Hammondville, it's actually rotating just a little bit, but again, it's not nearly enough to produce a tornado or anything like that. Same thing with the one near West Palm Beach. It's rotating, but it's not very strong, it's not very tight. I will say the threat for waterspouts will exist with these storms. So if you're out here, east of Florida here in the Atlantic, you gotta be careful. Again, we do have a lime-sized hail report from today, alright? So we're talking about, very large hail even in certain instances falling here across parts of the Midwest today. Again, the main threats with this line of storm here are going to be damaging winds and large hail, first of all, then tornadoes, then flooding. Flooding's not really going to be an issue at all because these storms are going to sweep through super fast, right? They're moving pretty quickly overall, I do believe. This is moving 45 miles per hour. This is moving, 45 miles per hour as well. Basically, the entire line is. So they're not going to be able to stack on with the heavy rainfall and create that potential for flash flooding for the most part. Maybe like some street flooding if you get like a pocket of torrential rain, which is possible, but as you can see in the severe thunderstorm watch, primary threats include scattered damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour possible and scattered large hail events to 1.5 inches in diameter possible. But again, it could even get higher than that, as we have already seen today up there in Michigan. Again, near Ironwood, we did have that report of a lime-sized hailstone that was about an hour ago now, about 48 minutes ago. So, yeah. Or 49 minutes ago. I can't math. Again, in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, we do have live looks at some storms rolling in here to northwest Georgia. They're actually pretty intense at the moment. Alright, we're talking about, again, the threats with these include 40-mile-per-hour winds, pea-sized hail, and frequent cloud-to-ground lightning. Expect minor damage to tree limbs and blowing around of light, unsecured objects. People outdoors should seek shelter immediately. If you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. So, again, seek shelter inside of a sturdy building in that region, because there's quite a bit of electrification with that storm there. It looks like in the far higher levels of the atmosphere here, this storm in northwest Georgia is rotating just a little bit, but again, it's nowhere near enough to produce any sort of tornado or funnel cloud even. So, nothing really to worry about rotation-wise with that storm. Again, the main threat with it's actually going to be the lightning. There's going to be quite a bit of cloud-to-ground strikes, it looks like, with that. So, again, make sure that you are getting indoors into a sturdy building at the very least. Let's see here. Let's go back out here to our storm in Colorado. Again, the main threat with this is going to be damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, but the vertically integrated liquid signatures, they're there, but, we're talking, very minimal, like, littler than pea-sized hail. Like, littler's not a word. Smaller than pea-sized hail. It's just going to be itty-bitty, mainly just heavy rainfall, really, by the time it reaches the surface, so. I will say this isn't looking super high up in the atmosphere for the vertically integrated liquid signatures, but still, there's not much there at all, really, so. Again, mainly just going to be some gusty winds to damaging winds at times with this storm as it moves towards Flagler along Interstate 70 there. So, yeah, look out for that. We'd actually have 5 flash flood warnings across the country right now, most of them being across parts of the Tennessee Valley. We've got some in North Carolina, some in Virginia, some in Tennessee. That's because these storms out here are packing a punch with the heavy rainfall. If we turn on the excessive rainfall outlook for today, we will actually see that we do have a slight risk of flash flooding here down for parts of Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. Okay, so areas like Dothan, Panama City, Apalachicola, Pensacola, Tallahassee, and Albany, you are under the threat for some flash flooding potential today. But again, even that dark green area, we're seeing quite a bit of flash flooding, and even outside of it a little bit here, we got some flash flooding. So just because you're not in one of those shades doesn't mean you don't have the potential for any sort of flooding at all. It just means that the potential is not very high. Again, the green shade is a 5% chance for flash flooding within 25 miles of any given point, and the yellow is a 15% chance for flash flooding within 25 miles of any given point. Anything that is not in a dark green area doesn't mean that it's 0, it just means that it's less than 5%. So yeah, just wanted to quickly explain that. We will be live, I mean, guys, we're continuing the live stream marathon. We've been live every day for like a month now, multiple times a day usually. We're going to be live again tomorrow, guaranteed. We're going to be live again Monday, guaranteed. We're going to be live again Tuesday, guaranteed. We're going to be live again Wednesday, guaranteed. We're going to be live again Thursday, guaranteed. Because the severe weather activity recently in the United States has just been ridiculous. And again, Tuesday's actually looking like a pretty concerning day for people in the Midwest, right? We have a day 4 enhanced risk of severe weather for parts of Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Illinois, and Wisconsin here. Oh, hey, Stormrunner Media. That's so cool. I still cannot believe that they tune into my stream sometimes. That's awesome. But yeah, I will say Tuesday's looking pretty concerning for parts of the Midwest. And then also, again, tomorrow we've got that enhanced risk as well for parts of Kansas. But again, this is mainly just going to pose a damaging wind and large to very large hail risk. But the tornado threat is there. It's a little bit higher than it is today, but it's still not anything insane. I think a tornado or 2 is probably likely tomorrow, though. So, again, we'll watch that tomorrow. We will be live here at least once tomorrow covering severe weather. I will say I am very busy tomorrow. I got quite a bit of stuff going on, but yeah. So, anyway, back up here to our storms in Wisconsin. Again, mainly just posing a damaging wind and large hail risk at the minute. I will say very large hail, though, with this storm south of Tomahawk. Again, it is currently warned for ping pong ball-sized hail. It's maxing out the vertically integrated liquid signatures in several spots along Highway 51 near Irma, again, in Wisconsin. So, we'll have to watch that one. That may even get an upgrade for its hail threat, because, I mean, it's looking like some pretty massive hail, but I will say part of that could just be from the distance from the radar site. Again, we're pretty far away. They don't have a lot of radar sites out here in Wisconsin, because Wisconsin doesn't get severe weather very often. Back down here to our storms in southeastern Florida. It's been a minute since we mentioned that again. This one near Pompano Beach is trying to rotate a little bit. It's just not very impressive. It's not really enough to produce a tornado or anything. But again, you do want to watch out for this one. We may see the tornado possible tag get slapped onto this severe thunderstorm warning. But this storm's about to go out to sea anyway. Same thing with the one up here. It's rotating a little bit, but it's just not enough to really do anything. Near Boynton Beach. This one's trying to get a little bit of a bean shape on it. Near Lakewood East would be where your rotation is. I mean, it's trying to do something. It's just not doing very well, really. So going back up here to Wisconsin, again, these storms continue to pose a damaging wind and large to very large hail risk. I mean, just look at that, guys. That is a massive hail core southeast of Irma now. Again, part of that is because of the distance we are from the radar site, and we're looking very high up into the atmosphere, but definitely got some damaging winds and large hail associated with this storm here. No doubt about that. If we take a look at the vertically integrated liquid, I mean, again, like we just mentioned, it's maxed out, so definitely very large hail associated with this storm. I would not be surprised if we were to get some hail bigger than ping pong ball size, maybe even golf ball or not tennis ball, but golf ball or lime-sized hail. Hello, Board Nest Gaming. It looks like we even got a little bit of a hail spike here on our storm. So, yeah. But again, part of that is because of our distance from the radar site there. So, yeah. So again, our storm near Pompano Beach is rotating a little bit, but it's not enough to produce a tornado at the minute near Coconut Creek. So we'll continue to watch that again. We got a line of special weather statement orange storms here heading for the Atlanta area. Call you Blaze? Alright, sorry, I forgot about that. And there we go. Our storm in Wisconsin has now been upgraded to golf ball sized hail. And I will also say it does have the tornado possible tag on it because it is rotating a little bit. It's not nearly as dramatic as it looks. If this is actually what it looked like, it would immediately get a tornado warning. But we are so far away from the radar site. This is looking very high up into the atmosphere, but there's definitely some rotation there. Again, this is southeast of Irma, and also golf ball-sized hail once again, and 60-mile-per-hour winds possible with this storm. So if you're in this area, again, please do be moving indoors and away from windows immediately. Very nasty storm out here right now near Dudley, Gleason, Bloomville, just past through Irma. Areas like Parrish and Harrison are going to be impacted by this down the line too, potentially, so look out for that. I'm going to go and update the stream title here to considerable severe thunderstorm warning now that we do have one of those. Actually, I'll just update it to tornado possible since we have that tornado possible tag. Yeah, I did start streaming again, Texas Chili Ball Edits. Yep. Yeah, we were live earlier today, if you were not aware. We were playing Minecraft with viewers. Again, this continues to be a huge hail core here. We're talking about DBZ values up to 72, which is pretty uncommon. Alright, so again, we're going to have to watch this for a little bit of rotation there. Again, it's not nearly as dramatic as it looks because of our distance from the radar site, but like you... Yeah, we were live not too long ago, but I figured now if I'm going to go live for severe weather today, now would be the best time. And I do think it is necessary considering we've got golf ball-sized hailers, possible tornadoes, and damaging winds up to 60 to 65 miles per hour with some of these storms here. So again, that continues to rotate a little bit in there near Gleason, Bloomville, and Dudley along Highway 17. Having sunny weather, but it's hot. Yeah, you said that earlier today. I know it's got to be miserable down there. Didn't you say it was like 90 degrees? Currently 88 degrees from Dickinson. So, that's in southeast Houston. Let's go back up here to Wisconsin once more. And again, there's your huge hail core at the minute. Little bit less impressive now, but it's becoming more widespread, if anything. It's just getting a little bit smaller there on the DBZ values, at least, it looks like. Our storm in the Merrill area has been downgraded to quarter-sized hail. I believe originally it was ping pong ball. Or no, sorry, this was always quarter-size. It's just been condensed still, though, so it's worth noting. Right, our severe thunderstorm warning in Colorado has been allowed to expire. Again, we're down to 4 now. Just had a ton expire. So we've got 1 in Florida and then 3 up in Wisconsin. And then those are all of our severe thunderstorm warnings at the minute. Again, by far the most concerning storm we have in the entire country is near Harrison and Elko, Wisconsin. So if you're in this area, again, please do be getting indoors and away from windows immediately. Very strong storm out here. Again, it's not too often you see something like this in Wisconsin. Decently rare, I'd say. Pretty rare, actually. I mean, it's not like we never see it, but especially that far north in Wisconsin, that's a little uncommon. You're under an air quality alert, don't know why, though. Yeah, I saw Texas has some of those right now. Yeah, so just be careful out there, try to limit outdoor activities. Again, there's your air rotation southeast of Tomahawk, Wisconsin now. It's a pretty decent velocity coupled. Again, not quite as impressive as it looks because of its proximity from the radar site, but still, this storm could produce a tornado. So again, if you're in this area, make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows immediately, and remain alert for a possible tornado warning, because again, the storm is rotating just a little bit there, near Bloomville, Gleason, Dudley, and then again, gonna head up towards Harrison, Parrish, Bundy, Enterprise, Elko, Summit Lake, Post Lake, and Monaco in Wisconsin here. So look out for that. Alright, let's see here. So, again, this continues. I mean, if you're in an area like Harrison, you're technically in this severe thunderstorm warning, but you've already gotten the worst of what you're going to get. The worst of it's going to go off to the south of you. That's why we're talking about, like, the big, big hailstones falling in areas west of Highway 17 right now, near Dudley, Gleason, Bloomville, and then again, eventually up towards Parrish. Again, golf ball sized hail may be associated with that storm at any time. So again, please do be moving indoors and away from windows immediately in that area. Quick update here on our Florida storms. Again, it's rotating a little bit. At this point, it's the only way it's going to do any sort of tornado is going to be a water spout. The next time you're going to have storms is probably the 28th. Yeah, I mean, it just depends. It's hard to forecast that far out. But I don't think there are any real severe weather threats for Houston over the next few days. I will say, I lost my train of thought. I will say that on, let's see here, what day was it? Day 6, that's what it was, yeah. What day is this? What day is day 6? I'm really not sure. Would that be Friday? The 23rd. The 23rd, there's a slight risk of severe weather for parts of Texas, but that's to the far north of you. Areas like Tyler, DFW are included in that. However, again, we will be live covering this event because I do think it has the potential to be decently large, but I think it's going to kind of get forgotten about because I think over the next few days it's going to get very intense just in general with all this severe weather, and I think people are going to forget about some of the smaller days, even if they are still pretty significant, kind of like today. Today's pretty significant, but because of all the severe weather days, nobody's going to really remember it. But if this was like during the fall or something, this would be, big news here. So, anyway. By the way, we do have a new mesoscale discussion now in effect here for portions of our severe thunderstorm watch. The strong to severe thunderstorm development posing a risk for severe hail and locally... Anyway, dang it. I always forget to mute myself. Strong to severe thunderstorm development posing a risk for severe hail and locally strong gusts will probably be maintained into the 8 to 9 p.m. time frame. Okay, so we're talking as far late as 8 to 9 p.m. we could be dealing with stuff like this. With damaging winds and large hail. Why is everyone saying that North Alabama is going to get hard with storms? I don't know who's saying that, but that's not true. I mean, there's a marginal risk today, but that's not big storms, I wouldn't say. Yeah, over the next few days, I'm not seeing anything for North Alabama at all. So I don't know who told you that, but they were probably lying. I do have to end off the stream here, unfortunately. I really don't want to go, but I do have stuff to do, so I'm going to end off the stream here. If you guys did enjoy, please be sure to like and subscribe. If we do get a tornado warning, I will be back here live again, but